Hello there, great person. Welcome back for one last time, at least for the show. Movies are gonna come soon. Let's watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. And I do think the most trippiest episodes have already been gone. Like, I don't find this that trippy what's going on currently. So the gist is that I got currently is that changes like, I grew up, you all didn't, fuck all. I'm gonna do my own thing, and with that he isolates himself again through another means by being more grown up than them. I know that's one interpretation. There are, like, you could probably make an argument for him regressing into his depressed state for some unknown reason, which in reality would also be a thing. If you're depressed, you can just go back randomly. So it would be in line with that interpretation as well. I just don't like it that much. But it's a viable interpretation, perhaps even a more likely one. I will agree, like, I will admit to that. But for me, it's more like he has fought all the angels. He had help. He didn't realize really that he had help, because in the end, he prevailed against all of them. And he just realized all the other people who helped him didn't fight their angels yet, and they have their baggages because they're human, because he's like this meta-human now in a way, and that isolates him now as well, because he's different from all the others now, and I guess that's what they're going for with this. So I might be wrong with that, obviously, like, or you might have other ideas about this. For example, that he's just suddenly regressed into depression, and the echoes of his relationships are trying to get to him, but he's, you know, like, just seeing the bad in them because that's how he views the world as a neurotic person, which is also something you can get. But I think that's a bit too depressive for me. But it is viable. It is viable, and we can talk about that in the live stream after this is done. But let's start it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also check out my fantasy, psychological fantasy horror web series, The Dream After Life. I hope it has been live now for some time. I hope you enjoy it. And there are also very depressed characters in that, one or two, but also very hopeful ones, I hope. And I hope you like the characters. But now let's start with the show. And the last episode, I will also watch the opening. I will mute it, but you will see me react to it now. So let's have some fun. Here we go. One last time, at least before the movies.
Doch ich frag mich, wer wir sind.
Yeah, so all that is to be said, thanks for watching this. I don't have a single gripe with this show other than Suzuhara surviving the fucking crash, which is something I will headcanon away by executive meddling. So I will just pretend it died. And then it's like, currently it's a 10 out of 10. Let's see if it stays like that, or if they pull some random bullshit now. I hope they don't. I don't think they can do anything to make me really angry now. Like, even if he gives into this weird depressed state he's now in, either through isolation by being more grown up than the others and isolating himself by not understanding them anymore, or being done with the bullshit, or by being into depression again, but he might completely close himself off now. That might be the ending, and that is sad and a bit bittersweet, but he might also start reintegrating, like starting to help them. Those are the two possibilities. And let's see. Ooh, it's a biblically accurate angel. We had lots of those. Ooh. The Hebrew tree. Oh, and it's the water surface we had all the time. Yeah, it's a cool song. Sad that I didn't listen to that like 25 times. That's really cool. It's such a hopeful song, though. Very weird. And they're all very naked, like very primal. Interesting, man. It is so interesting that this is... Oh, I love that image of a incredibly weird seraphim thing. Why is this so hopeful? Like, this is nothing like the show. Betray your memories. Interesting. Become a legend, young boy, yeah. I do think he became a legend because he transcended, like, because he's an archetype for growing up. That's why he's a legend. Like, if this is just seen as a story, this is just a modern legend. Oh my god, fuck off. Why are you scrolling the text so quickly? In the year 2016, the instrumentality of what people had lost, that is, of the heart, was underway. However, it would take far too long to predict all such events. We will therefore focus on the instrumentality of the heart belonging to the boy Shinji Hikari. I don't know what the fucking thing in the last episode was, man. The end of last episode threw me off so much that it was so weird and I don't get it. Because now we're back with the character introspections, which I love. So I would just say that he is in danger of running away from them, but he might turn back to them. So I don't know. Yeah. That's a harsh burden as well. An unwanted child is basically a child that the parents, like the first societal bonds are already corroded with them. And with most people in this show, they are, at least from one part of the parents. I don't think there is a single healthy parental relationship in this fucking show, which is basically one of the primal ideas. If you also see the parents as symbols for nature and nurture, which is what guides you through life. So... yeah. Yeah. Man, I love this though. This is so true. I hope through this he realizes that she helped him, but he needs to help her. I really hope that. See, we're all like that. We're all human. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it might also mean that... it might mean exactly that what I just said all the time, that not necessarily him, but he's the perfect candidate, but they need to fix each other's holes in their soul and share their experiences, that they have to perhaps mend others' bad experiences and make them better. And that's what I said. That's basically what I want from him to do here for everyone. So if this is the human instrumentality project succeeding, for me, that means Shinji as a meta idea, fixing, like, growing up, getting so much competence in all these weird adult things that he can see the weird holes in the growing up in the world and his friends, so he can start to mend them. And they each other can then mend them each other. That's what I get. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. I mean, we did discuss that a lot of this. You are alone, but you're in society, but you're sometimes an outcast, and all the stuff the angels represented is exactly this tension. You are alone, but there is society that can be with you, but that can also make you an outcast. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's really beautiful. Yeah. That is also, by the way, something I think I have surprisingly not talked about enough, I feel. And I've mentioned it, but this idea of everyone not being completely grown up, and I say that, and I might be a bit wrong, perhaps I give him too much credit here, but I do think that is at least the message I want to take from this, that Shinji is the epitome of someone facing all their fears while growing up, and then trying to help others. But all the other characters in this show had these problems. None had grown up into the state of completion that Shinji has. And I do think what I said is true, that no one has that. Everyone failed at some point in some of these aspects, I feel. And it's in their souls. So we are fragile because all of us are damaged when we are grown up. And when we grow up, or before in childhood even, we are damaged. And we should fix that. And we might confide in others to fix it. We might even go to therapy. By the way, if you feel really sick and depressed or anything, just go to a doctor. Like, there are people who can try to help you. And, for example, with depression, and I'm not a certified medical doctor, I'm just a doctor in conceptual psychology, but which is not mental health psychology. It's different. Like, so I'm a consultant. I don't have that license. So it's not in that way I'm saying this. It's just saying as a normal ding dong watching YouTube videos with some papers read on this part, not a counselor. But there are two types. For example, in depression, you can be depressed because your brain doesn't work correctly. You can fix that in many cases pretty easily by taking some medication that will readjust some brain levels. That is easily fixable, but you might be depressed because your life is shit. Like, you might be depressed because you are alone, you have no friends, you have no lover, your work sucks, and your family family's gone, and you might be sick. So then you are not depressed because something's wrong with your brain, but you have to fix some parts in your life, and that's so much harder, and you need an expert for that. Not like not me, obviously. Like, you need someone to go to them. And and I always have said this, and I stand by that, and I know some people might disagree. I do think every one of us needs psychological help in some way, shape, or form, because exactly of what the show is telling us. And I think it's extremely right that all of us have baggage most of us either run away from or don't know about, and we should work through that. All of us do have that. And I do think that could be a message we can take from this, at least, that that we are damaged, but that's what makes us human. And we can work on it towards a better future. It doesn't have to stop with being damaged. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do think, in universe, instrumentality might be a weird transcendence thing, which I don't have any fucking clue how they would do that. Angel magic, and they're all the same hive mind, I guess. But I don't care for that much. Like, that's not interesting to me as an idea. Because the show, saw the show, as I said, I saw it so much more through this more meta level and visceral level. Like, it's both on a meta and a visceral level. Like, it's like there's a story level, and there is a meta story level, and there is a visceral story level, and I focused on the upper and the lower level and not on the middle that much. The middle was pretty cool, cool thought out, some mystery boxes with Ray and stuff, and the Adam stuff, some mystery stuff. It was all pretty logical, and I liked it, but I liked the other two layers a lot more. I liked the visceral stuff it made me feel with these images and all of it, and I liked the meta stuff it made me think about. So perhaps in universe they all fuse together and now can help each other and mend their wounds. But for me, it is more important to understand what this what this potentially tells us. And it's like, we can fix each other at least a bit. And I also want to add, if someone is really toxic or far gone, sometimes you can't help them. Then you send them to an expert who is also part of society, who then helps them. So it's basically, we have to somehow mend each other. And it might be through your friends, or if it's too bad, it might be through an expert. And don't hesitate to go to an expert. Please, they're there for that. And if you, by the way, also, very important, if you go to a psychologist or something, and you can even do coaching, you won't even have to have that on record. You can go like live coaching or something. It's basically a little therapy, but no one will write it down if you're afraid that you are like marked by that in some official document. There are ways to go to a psychologist if you only have minor stuff, or if you want to have some stuff checked out. At least in Germany, you can go there. You're like, yeah, I want coaching, and it's just something like you pay for that yourself. That's a bit stupid, obviously, but you pay for it yourself, and you get some treatment to some stuff you have to work through if it's surface level stuff. And I think everyone should consider that if they are having something depressing in their life that's not too bad, and I don't know. Yeah, why are you alive? No one knows. Who do you live for? Yeah. I would argue everyone only lives for themselves. Even if you think I live for someone else, you live for, like, You live for the idea of living for them, and that's a selfish idea. Are you happy to be loved? Yeah. Yeah, all those questions of life. Yeah. Yeah. I love that we also here go through his counters to all these existential ideas that can drive you into nihilism. That's true. I love this, man. This is so uplifting. He learned so much in this show. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. That's so cool, man. What hurts him if he runs away, by the way, is also his conscience. That's so cool. That's what it was in the beginning, at least. I love the tricycle with the broken wheel, like one of the first things where you're hurt in life. But you, like, this is such an encapsulation of the theme of the show as well. If the wheel breaks off and you fall down, you can either sit there and cry, you can get up and try again. It's exactly the same thing on a different layer, I think. Yeah. I love that it is both his counters to these existential ideas and his friends helping him to find them. And he adapts them as well. So he's also connected already with them. That's what I said as well before. Yeah. Yeah, this is though an Asuka thing. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, man. I love that we get piloting the Eva lets me stay who I am. So powerful. One of the best lines in the show, I feel. Yeah. Ray said as well. No. Is it only Asuka and Shinji here talking? But they both. I love this, man. I don't even know what to say. I can only stay in society because I grow up. That's so funny, though. Nah, those were the times, man. Asuka, man. That's so dark, though. Yeah. Yeah, I love that, man. It's so sweet. I remember him thinking that. It was the part where he was in the weird quantum form angel. I think the quantum form angel was my favorite part of the show. That was beyond brilliance because there were so many ideas and themes that made him also develop. Like the character study we had of Shinji here is one of the best character studies I've ever seen written. Perhaps the best. I love how we recapitulate how he fixed all of it. This is just, I know I'm also repeating myself, it's just regurgitating in a very beautiful, satisfying send-off to the show, how he changed for the better for me, at least in these parts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny, man. And you can be torn between those things, always. Yeah. Yeah, it's a part of your heart. Yeah, that as well. I like that as well. I do think this is the thing that happened at the end of last episode. The Eva did dictate what he is. And I don't mean being an Eva pilot, but being his own thing. If you only think you're your own thing, you're isolating yourself. It's a bit like the persona thing Ray has, but on the other way around. Like you, yeah, it is It is Rey's mirror, in that Rey is overwhelmed by her persona, and he's, in the end, potentially, he was dangerously close in that weird space. I don't know what it was, I don't give shit. Overwhelmed of losing himself, in his own self, aggrandizing as a grown-up person through the Eva. Yeah, the Kellogg practice, I remember. No. Yep. I don't know what that says. I love that title, man. That's so sweet. That would be my message to all of you as well. Take care of yourself. I think that encapsulates all we saw beautifully, astoundingly this ecstatic beauty. Take care of yourself. Because life is hard. It is. I think I've rarely seen a show depicted like this. No. Are you bleaching this? It's pretty depressive, right? Yeah. I like that this basically is like all the impressions of the world. I don't like them. Because it's not me, you know? It's the outside thing. Yeah. I love this victory lap of the show it's doing. It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah. The way they didn't confront the stuff. And they were afraid, and it's so okay to be afraid. And you might change, and your past self will die. What do you want? Yeah. Love it, man. That is so cool. Yeah. That is also so true. It's what I talked about. It's logo. It's the like the theory of logo therapy. Exactly this. Give yourself your worth. It is basically. Oh, by the way, I just realized because she is such a persona person that is so embodying the societal persona. She's one of many as well, because she is a no face in society, almost an NPC. But what did I want to say now before that? Oh god, I'm tripping. I don't remember. Man, I'm tripping so hard. I've been watching this for almost 12 hours now. What the hell am I? Yes, that's what I was going to say. I've heard many people ask what's the meaning of life, and I would say it's the meaning you give it. You give yourself the meaning you think is valuable and try to find that, and if you do, hold on to it. No, that's so cool. I love it. I love it. Oh my god, we're going into my expert territory. This is basically my main area of research, so I will talk shortly about it because I've been talking for 12 hours now, and there's the point where it's enough. But the things we see are all access symbols, icons, like on the desktop. You know, like these signs here, and the shape we see, and the sounds we hear from someone, their voice, all of those are surface things that code the being inside, the things it does when it reacts to stuff. Like, basically, your idea of someone else is, what would they do if you reacted, if you gave them that? And what would they say about this? So it's also a reaction, a statement. And if you can predict that better and better you get to know a person better, and your mental model of that person enhances and is a better model of them. Because you do model people in your head, you don't know them. I mean, that's been the whole theme of the show. You can never know a person, and a person never can know itself. If you say other people's view of the person are also the person, then you couldn't even know yourself. But I do think that's not really true. But there would be, perhaps it is, like, I'm unsure. You can see it either way. I think both are okay. But you never will grasp another person because all you can do is model what they would do. And that's your understanding of a person. And most of it is expressed through you predicting about like the gist of what they say, because you have to keep in mind the same that I said about a person goes for speech as well. If you describe someone with language, that language also is just a symbol for a meaning. And you might have, like, for example, if you predict what someone will say because you know them that well, you will not predict every single word they say, but you will predict the gist of what they probably will say. And the better you predict it, and prediction can also be hearing it being like, yeah, that makes sense for you. You know what? It also is a part of that. So that is basically, the better you know someone, I would say, knowing someone good is having a good model that encapsulates what their interactions with the world are and with themselves potentially. You know, I think that's the thing. And you can always model that better and better, but you will never get to the core. So that's basically the thing they're being here. Like, and that's what this means. Like, you're not these structures, you're the underlying ideas and the reactions these structures have to other things and the relations. Yeah, representations. Okay, I didn't want to say, but that's the technical term for the representation. You know, representation is a certain modal structure, like a sensory pattern, like a word or an image or a sound or a smell, and all of that combined perhaps that codify exactly what I described. Reactions, potential interactions, things do, and ideas. Yeah. That's also cool. What it means to be you. That's funny. Yeah. They are, though. That is the thing. Because what holds true to his idea of himself as being like these things being representations of him is, these representations of him are not limited to the shapes of him, but also the shapes he knows and he has interacted with. So you could even argue that it goes further. The same way as other people, that you model other people by modeling and predicting and gauging their potential reactions and interactions with the world, you understand yourself through modeling your interactions with the world and remembering them. Through the symbols as well. So if you remember your room, all the interactions you had with that, and all the meanings, by the way, in that regard, you had with your room are in your memory. So that's a part of you, because you interacted with that and you learned from that in that way. I mean, that's at least how I would put it as an expert in this field. So am I nothing but myself? That's funny. And that's also the problem, because many things we can't actively call upon in our mind. Like, these experiences are also visceral. They're also in our subconsciousness. So am I the conscious me, or am I also the conscious me, subconscious me? I love these drawings so much. That's so funny. Yeah, nobody can. It's yourself. Yeah. That's also such a happy thing, because even if other people hate you, you can always be like, they didn't understand me well enough. That might just be an excuse in some cases, because you might be a dick. Like, for example, I sometimes am a big dick, but you know, it's like it is also something to keep in mind. It is perhaps also something you could try to counter these everyone hates me, and you focus on that, or every wrong thing you had with a person, if you focus on that, which is, as I said, a sign of neuroticism. And you can be like, yes, but perhaps their model of me is wrong. perhaps that's not who I am, because even if they hate me, they might have modeled me incorrectly. That's a bit of solace. I like that. Yeah, you need to take care of yourself because you understand yourself best. That's so lovely. That's so lovely, man. I know this is the memory of him not understanding himself, I think. Because I do think he understood himself pretty well in the last scenes. But I think it has to settle in. But I really like that it's also so comforting that you understand yourself best and that you also, through that, can help yourself through introspection. And we had that episode title as well. Yeah, you're anxious. Yeah. But that's natural. Yeah. Yeah, that as well. That was what the angels were. Yeah, the angels were exactly that. That's interesting. Yeah. I like that as well. That's basically mirroring the end of last episode, but in a more sensible way. Like the theater stage was weird. It's also a more positive outlook, because this is in contrast to perhaps the last episode's ending with you are alone or whatever, where he was alone. That was a relapse, a short one where he was unsure, but now he understands it better, because this is a lot more positive. Because he's transcendent now and he accepts it a bit more. Do what you want. Yeah, it's a world full of potential. It's so cool. Now he's grown up and he's grappling with everything. I love this. This is such a brilliant encapsulation of the tension between society and self. Like, if everything's free, you don't know what to do. And someone says, there's up, there's down. So you bought into their worldview, you linked with them, you got something, some orientation, but you also lost some freedom. I love that. That is so awesome. I love it. Also, the positivity of society, it gives you stability. Because we didn't have that really in the show. We didn't have the message of your society really gives you stability in very many situations as well. So that's why you adhere to it. This is finally in, now in the end when he's grown up. That's the message he now starts to understand as well. That's so funny, man. Yeah. I would also take this metaphoric of your orientation in the world changes, your goals change, and that's fine. They should. It's fine. Yeah, the agency, there are the angels. I need to see that again. They showed me all the angels. Why? In a positive way. Oh, fuck yeah, that's so good. They say you yourself are changing, and he changed for the better every time he beat an angel. Is it all the angels? This is an angel. I think this first. There are some of the angels. Or it's angelic things. Perhaps these are his angels in his heart that fought the other angels. I don't know. There's still a shadow cast. But the shadow defines you still. The shadow is distinguishing you. It's so cool. But it's not. I like that. That visual was cool. Something very interesting is that from a single line, you can derive quantum physics and quantum field theory. Just by being like, there are two things that are distinct. You can derive from that through mathematic logic. You can derive the fundamental laws of physics, which is like mind-blowing. Just when you say A, B, A, unequal B. That's all you need to go to get to first to logic, operations, polymetrices, and then you have the basics for quantum physics. Didn't talk about that when they just went in the line, but basically just the line is enough to create the outside world. Like, also, it's so cool, man. Also, self-image. You cannot have a self-image because reflections from the world. And the world is mostly satiety for people. Can also be a pond, of course. But a pond is mostly the structure we talked about before. So it is mostly what society, like you interact through interactions with society, you learn about yourself. So oh fuck yeah, it was on the screen. I didn't read it, but they said the same thing anyway. That as well, and this is it, like through distinctions as well. Distinctions are so important. I love it. Yeah. No, if you take the other people with you because you're connected. Yeah. I said that 2 episodes ago. I'm so happy. Man, I said exactly. I really explained it to you. The first person you detach from, like you see your mother as yourself, and then you detach. Man, I can't believe it. Yeah, exactly. And as I said, man, it's just what I said. Like, just for me, I know it might not be for you. You might be like, yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? This is so stupid what you're saying, all of it. But, you know, it's like, for me, all of this is so logical. The only thing I'm not grasping completely is this weird thing at the end of last episode where he fell back. But I do think the thing is that was meant to be us being like, what the fuck is he doing now? And now this is resolving. Like, this dialogue here, especially this area of dialogue in the episode, is resolving the problem from the end of last episode. Because he said at the end of last episode, and I think I was just too quick in judging it, but I think I was too quick in thinking, because the last episode was he's grown up, he's grown up, and he has to understand what that means, that he's his own person now. And there was the darkness, and the first time he realized he was grown up, he was alone, and that was what he said. And perhaps that was one of the wishes why he wanted to grow up, to be alone and not dependent. And now he realizes what it truly means to be with people, and that it started when you were born, so when you separate from your mother. I guess perhaps that's the second impact. The first impact is inception or birth. The second impact is when you are away from your mother. And the third impact is we didn't have it. I guess perhaps this is it was almost there. For me, the third impact didn't happen, but the third impact is basically him completely changing here. I don't know. Like, it feels like we should have had the third impact and this would be it. But perhaps the third impact is the meta level that's happening now. Like, I feel this is the third impact. It should be it, but I don't know why it would be. You know, it's just again, we've got these 3 story layers: meta, visceral, and normal storyline, in-universe storyline. In-universe, I don't know why there's the third impact. I guess the human instrumentality project was done and now it's there. It was his reward for growing up. I don't really get the logistics of that, but it's unimportant to me, because this is just the meta level and the visceral level now. The middle storyline has vanished at the end of 24 for me. So I see all of it as both visceral and meta level combined into one thing. And so for me, the third impact is the end. Like, we didn't have it in the show, but this is the third impact from a meta perspective. Him growing up. And we don't need angels and that stuff anymore. We don't need the story and the in-universe stuff anymore, because he's now grown up. And what he now has to do is he has to grapple with this alone, understand what being alone as an adult truly means, and how he still can connect with his friends, and how his true realization of his adult self, grown-up self, is finally here. And I see it as there's no third impact. It is more like it is the third impact, but the third impact is not this big event, but it's a personal event of him, of complete introspection and self-understanding through his connections with all the others. And that's the thing. Like, so the first impact is probably conception. Second impact is departing from your mother and starting to integrate into society a bit, not understanding it. And the third, and then you go through puberty, ending with the third impact, or perhaps even the third impact is something like the puberty itself or the end. So I had kind of like that, but I don't think we had a third impact. We had Human Instrumentality Project was just sad, and like 2 times it was Show Misato and Ritsuto Ko or whatever she's called are dead, and that's it. And we do not have any in-universe stuff anymore. So I see 25 and 26 is completely meta introspection he has now. Like, this is all in his mind after the events of the last episode, when he grew up and what his mind is subconsciously doing. That's what are we seeing the last 2 episodes. So finally figured it out. That's so funny, man. Oh, we're back. What? We're back. What's gonna happen now? Man. Is this the real world and the rest was just in his mind? I love that. Oh, I love it. It was all in his head. I knew it. I mean, it was always a possibility. It was all in his head. It was the it was the meta story of this boy growing up. And it was we just saw the abstract representation of his growing up. And I think we just switched into real world. Pen is his little toy clock from his childhood. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. This is so beautiful. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh man, this is so beautiful. Oh, this is so awesome. Okay, I think this is almost as satisfying as Death Note ending, but in a more positive way. Oh my god, and he's talking back to her. I love this. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so happy. This is so good. Oh man, I love it. I love it. Oh my god. Oh my god, it was all in this fucking... I love it. They went there. They fucking went there. The chats went there. It is... Oh god, I love it. Holy shit, I love this so much. Oh, I love it so much. Thank you for making this. This is the biggest piece of art I've ever seen. I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so happy. This is so awesome. It might be fake, but I don't care. This is my canon ending. Oh. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh god, man. I guess it could also be that it's like because he doesn't know her. No, it is. I think it's still fine. Perhaps he saw a picture of her. Man, that's so cool. Perhaps he saw a picture of her subconsciously in his father's notes somewhere, and she's like from his research or something still. I think that would make sense. I'm just thinking about why she would know her, but I don't think he knows her. I just think, I think it's reasonable to assume. This is fan wanking because this is a bit weird. So I will just headcanon it because I love this idea so much. So this is a bit fan wanky. I'm very sorry, but I just am so satisfied. So I will just assume he's got a picture of her somewhere, like his father. He's worked, like she's like somehow connected to their job. And I mean, the other thing is like he created a better world here, which is also fine. Which is, I think, the same idea. So I mean, it's either this is the reality and everything else was a meta level analysis of it, or he like literally in universe created a new world where it is the real world now. Like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't even matter if what we saw was real or not, because he doesn't have it in his memories, he has it in his subconsciousness, but that was what it would have been anyway, had it been just a meta level. So whatever it was that we saw for the past 25 episodes or 24 episodes was just something that doesn't matter anymore as a story, it matters as a meaning in his life. And I will just, you know, it even fits very well that he created this new world now through instrumentally, whatever. I don't know what that is. But I do like it more because I think it's more beautiful that we saw this journey of this little boy, and he probably knows Rey as his father's project, and perhaps he's a bit jealous of her or something like, or he knows a picture of her, and that's also why she was so distant in that world, because he never really knew her. She was just an idea that her father had somehow brought home through his work somehow, so he didn't know her. So that's why in the Evangelion dream, Rey was also this weird plot device that never had any real personality, because she probably just existed in a very limited way, and he interpreted a lot of stuff into a picture he saw something. That's my headcanon, and you can disagree with that, but I do think you can make that assumption because it fits. And otherwise, this is a world he created where everything's dandy, which is also the same thing he could have done as an adult, but because the thing is here, Rey is completely different. Rey is completely different from the Rey we had. Rey is a normal girl that's like ashamed of someone seeing her panties, and yeah. See, he's like teasing a bit at, like he's a bit more like Kaiji now. It's funny, man. Oh, you got your arm back and are not dead. That's good. Did he lose his arm or his leg? I don't know. It's so funny. I love it. Okay, I mean, if he likes it, why not? That's so cool, man. I like that he's talking back to her a lot more. Oh, Misato comes. So what's Misato in the true world? That teacher? It's so funny, man. What is she even doing there? Who is she coming for? See, Shinji's now like the others. He's completely integrated into society. That's so funny. I love it. Oh, that's so wholesome. So she's the teacher. That's funny. So he had the teacher, he had a crush on his teacher. That was why she had this big role in the Evangelion world. Oh, that's so sweet in a way. Oh, that's so cool. He had a crush on his teacher. That's why she was there. Oh no, it's that girl. It's so funny. I like that she stands up for Shinji here, something the bizarro, depressed Asuka wouldn't have done. I love this. I love it, man. She's such a bitch, man. I love it. I see why he dreamed of her like that. Mm. I do hate myself. Man, I love it. I love it. So we're back in the meta world. Yeah. Man, I love it. Yeah. Yeah. That's so lovely.
さな物差しです。
Oh, I love it.
晴れの日は気分よく、雨の日
Yeah.
されたらそう思い込んでし
Because he now is connected to everyone, he sees their wisdom and all of that. I know the soul sells it like this wasn't true. In my head canon, that was the true world. And he now went back into the meta mode. I don't even think that it's like, it's not his dream or anything. It's just us seeing him from this meta perspective. I think that's what it all was. And we go back to it now to recapitulate everything again.
人の中の真実とは
Yeah.
の真実なんてその程度のものさ。
Yeah. That's also what the angels were, like a text on the truth. I love it, man.
お前は人に好かれること
That's so funny, man.
どうやって人の顔色ばかり
Yeah.
でもみんな僕があんたが一人でそう
Yeah, that's so cool. I love this. No, he doesn't. He doesn't even say it with conviction.
人は他人を好きに
Yeah.
ずるくて弱虫で
I don't think so, mate.
でも好きになれるかもしれ
No.
僕は僕でしかない
That's so cool. This transformation is final. Oh, it's so cool. He has finally found himself and grown up. I think it was both, you know, the distance thing and him growing up.
おめでとう
おめでとう。
I love the soundtrack in the background. It's really sweet.
おめでとうさん
Yoo-hoo, Pan Pan!
おめでとう
おめでとう
Oh, that's so sweet, man.
ありがとう
Oh. For growing up. That was an absolutely mind-blowing masterpiece. You know what? I know it is also, again, because there is so much interpretation leeway in the end, obviously, but you can argue that it was just a glimpse he saw of a world where it was all better, but it really felt like, because they were all the tropes of what would be a meta level of describing this young boy's life we saw. So we saw this young boy's life at the end there for a bit, with his childhood friend, with his teacher he had a crush on, and all that stuff. Like, if you translated that into the Evangelion story, it would make a lot of sense. But saying in the Evangelion story that is a possible possible other world, I don't think that makes a lot of sense in that direction to me. If you are like, yeah, you know what, no, it was just a happy world he saw that could be somehow, that he could create for some reason, fine, but I don't like it that much. My headcanon will be, and I know it's just a headcanon, and you can interpret this in different ways, I know that, but for me it is like, all we saw was the story and development of this young boy we saw for a short while there in the end, into a grown or more adult person that challenged many, that faced many challenges in growing up, and also in connecting with the people around him that he needed to understand, and that he started to love and understand how they love him back. And he grappled with growing up, and in the end he was like a very healthy grown up, like very late puberty boy, but he had taken all the main hurdles, I feel, and he reacted to all the situations like a very healthy person would, I would argue, in the end. Like, he blushed a bit at the panties he did, like I would blush at that as well, probably, and I'm a grown-up, healthy, responsible adult. No, I'm not, but you know, but he was very open towards his teacher. He was standing up for Asuka, and it was very healthy what he was in the end. And you might think it is adulthood. You might say it is connecting with people. You might say it is not seeing yourself in such a bad light. You might say it's all of that, combinations of that. But I do think that's what this show was for me. I don't know if I need to watch the movies. I will, don't worry, but like this was satisfying as fuck, man. This was so fucking satisfying. The weird theater scenes threw me off a bit. I will just take them as this meta level, and I will like the human instrumentality. I don't think we really were supposed to get it, like in like how it because what I said, the in-universe story stopped at 24, or like this analogy of this young boy's life, as I see it stopped with 24. Then we had the introspective episodes, working through all what that happened, getting the own answers, challenging the darknesses we had, and becoming our own in the end. And we didn't need the instrumentality thing explained. The instrumentality was the idea of connecting with people in a healthy way, and not in an angel way, and being a part of society, and being a grown-up part of society, seeing that everyone struggles with being grown-up and with being alone or together, and trying to better it. And congratulations on everyone, I would say. And I love that it also showed that his father and mother were just typical mother and father he had, but the representations in the Evangelion world were very fitting for archetypic depictions of these figures and stories. Like the distant father that's very ruthless and lawful, and the mother that's absent because like childhood's over, protectiveness is over, but some part of her is still in you, in your body you possess because she created it with her body. I do think those were lovely themes. So we will discuss all of that in the stream. I hope for other interpretations as well. There are probably other cool ideas about the show. I did probably just scratch the surface, because that's the thing with the first view of something like this. Like, I can run into corners and get tangled up on hypotheses that are stupid. But in the end, I felt there was nothing I said that was really unfitting. And even though it might have been far-fetched, but there was nothing I said where I wouldn't agree with this take. But if you did, I would be interested. We will do a live stream after the movies. And thank you so much for watching this with me. It was such a pleasure. I can't believe that I didn't watch this before. I'm so glad I didn't. I wouldn't have understood a thing. Like, as I said, I started 5 minutes of episode 1 when I was 12 or something. I didn't get a thing. I was afraid. And I got so much from this. It was such a good depiction of so many core story ideas. It was a psychological sci-fi masterpiece. And I'm so thrilled to have been able to watch it with you. I do hope you enjoyed this journey with me. I do hope I did add something to this show. And you learned something perhaps, or you find some value in it, and you didn't waste your time. I don't know what will be next on this slot. I will probably tell it something more popular to push my book a bit, or my web novel. And I hope you like that. I know I plug it a bit, but I need to, because otherwise no one will care. So perhaps some people will care now for it. Yeah. So with that, thank you for watching Neon Genesis Evangelion with me, being on this journey, and love to all of you guys. Please take care of yourself. That's take care of yourself. I think that's a lovely message. Pull through. And I hope there's not too much angels in your life and you can prevail against them. So, hugs from me. I hope you're all right and stay to be, and see you around. Bye.